Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. WildMax1 here bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be doing yet another champion guide. This time, one of the first champions that ever ignited my passion for the arena. I am, of course, talking about the epic attack champion from the Shadowkin faction, Genbo the Dishonored. Today we're going to be breaking down his kit. I'll be showing you how to build this guy for maximum effectiveness. And finally, I'll be showcasing him in the arena and in Doom Tower Hard. So with that, let's get into it. So Genbo was released in May of 2021 and since then has remained one of the best epic nukers in the entire game. He is not only good in the arena, however, he's also amazing in wave-based content, doing a ton of damage and able to carry your account through dungeon waves. So with that, let's take a look at his kit. Starting off with his A1, Twin Soul Swords. Attacks one enemy 2 times, each hit steals any increased attack buffs. Each hit also has a 30, booking up to a 50% chance of stealing a random buff. The increased attack buff steal cannot be resisted. So him being an attack champion, you obviously love the fact that he's going to make sure that he gets that increased attack on himself so he can be doing more damage. Double hitter, always good to see in the arena especially. Random buff steal on top of that, so he could potentially even be stealing Stone Skin. This is a really great A1. On his A2, Heartless Blitz. This is his big AoE nuke. This is the move that he's really known for, and it looks awesome with the animation, as we'll see later in the video. Attacks all enemies, has an 80, booking up to 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. Obviously not on himself, we're talking the enemy team here. This effect cannot be resisted on critical hits, and he will critical hit. 4th turn, booking down a 3-turn cooldown. Great AoE nuke, also very relevant to be decreasing buffs on the enemy team. Excellent A2. Next up is his A3 Sword Trance. Places a 30% increased crit rate and 30% increased crit damage buff on this champ for 3 turns, then grants an extra turn. 6th turn, booking down a 4-turn cooldown. This is really nice. The extra turn in there allows you to get more A2s into a fight. Always good to see that, given that it's his hardest hitting ability, and that's already only on a 3-turn cooldown, so effectively on a 2-turn cooldown, which is great in the arena. You may think the increased crit rate is not as relevant. Crit damage, obviously really good on any damage dealer, but the crit rate, in this case, allows you to build him with less crit rate overall. So you can build him with 70%, rely on this to get you to an even 100, and then you can use that saved stats that you got from that to boost his attack or crit damage or survivability, which is really nice. Finally, getting to his passive, Flinty. Immune to decreased attack debuffs, will ignore unkillable buffs when attacking under an increased attack buff. So obviously he can potentially steal one of those for himself, but best paired with an increased attack champion just to get the most out of this passive. Unkillable, obviously going to be very relevant in today's arena for some of the top threats. All right, now looking at his passive, increase ally speed in arena battles by 20%. Not the highest, but for an epic, really good. Looking now at his total stats, we're at 14,000 HP. Not the most, but again, he's an epic attack-based nuker, so can't expect too much from there. 950 defense. Between those two, shouldn't be too difficult to keep him alive, but again, he's definitely not going to be tanking any big hits for you. 1400 attack, very solid for an epic nuker, attack-based. Right around 100 speed, also fine, and the rest is pretty standard. When building your Genbo, you already know, lots of attack, lots of crit damage, and then again, I recommend going 70% crit rate with him and relying on his A3 to deliver the last 30. If you want to go for the full 100, just in case this gets put on cooldown, and his A2 is up, or you want to make sure that if you ever counterattacks with his A1 and he's getting that 100% crit rate, that's obviously fine, but just maximizing his damage, especially in like a speed-tuned go first team, to min-max it, 30% of the crit rate should be coming from his A3. So when it comes to building your Genbo, he is obviously an arena-optimized champion. His aura tells you that right off the bat, and if you don't know, having AoE nukes in the arena, very effective. So his kit pretty much asks for him to be used in the arena. If you are going to be using him in today's arena, it's very, very helpful to have at least 1 turn Stone Skin for any of your squishier nuker champions, just to make sure they don't eat any crowd control, damage, or turn meter pushback before it's their turn to go. So 1 turn Stone Skin paired up with one of the ignore percent defense sets, lethal, savage, instinct, all going to be really, really good on Genbo and going to be best for the arena. Now, if you don't happen to have any Stone Skin gear to put on your Genbo, then other good options are to pair up your Ignore percent defense gear along with some of the good two-piece sets. So we're talking Cruel for more Ignore percent defense and some attack percentage, or Speed, or crit damage. Any one of those is going to be great on Genbo. If you don't have any of those either, then I would probably, if I was going to be building a crafting set, I'd probably put him in Swift Parry, getting a little more speed, a little more crit damage, and a chance to shrug off a fatal hit. Also going to be good. And if you don't have any of that stuff, just put him in Lifesteal, Speed, something like that, and he's going to do just fine for you. Now, if you happen to be building your Genbo for PvE only for whatever reason, then obviously the best set in the game currently available for pretty much any content is Merciless. Getting skill cooldown reduction, 35% ignore defense, and chances at extra turns is just going to be that much better. And Genbo is no exception. Really, Merciless is just an amazing set. Looking now at how I have my Genbo built. So I have him in 1-turn Stone Skin and 4-piece Lethal. For my pieces individually, I have him with an attack-based ring with good substats. I have him with a crit damage and crit damage amulet. Ideally, this would be 6-star. I have him with attack ascension banner, crit damage with crit damage on the gloves, attack percent with attack percent ascension on the chest, and I have him with speed boots. If you happen to have him in a speed tune team and he's got enough speed for you already, you can obviously opt to have this be an attack percentage on the boots for even more power on your Genbo. For my total stats, we're looking at 42.3k HP, just over 7k attack, just over 3k defense, 271 speed, 72% crit rate, as we discussed. 30 is coming from his A3, and 334% crit damage. Now, I am fully aware that he is a +4 empowered, 4-star awakened Genbo. This is not going to be accessible for everybody, but for me, I love this champion. I used him in Arena for a really long time, and I wanted to sort of restore his honor and build him pretty much as powerfully as I could for the showcase in today's video. So here's my Genbo wearing some of my best gear for him, and we'll see what he can do. And there was a time on my account where I was using my Genbo in lifesteal gear and speed gear, and he was pretty much just carrying me through waves. He was my campaign farmer at one point. So I've seen all different kinds of iterations on Genbo. If you're still earlier game and you're staring into this and you're like, whoa, you'll get there eventually. For now, just put him in whatever the best gear is that you have. He is definitely worthy of being the champion that can carry you through waves, arena, and all kinds of content. Now, for my Relic on Genbo, I've put a Cat's Gaze on him. Obviously, if you're looking to maximize the damage that your Genbo can do, and that's what I'm trying to do in this video, Cat's Gaze is a great option for that. This is one of the best DPS relics in Arena or outside of the Arena. If you're looking for a more budget option, one of the best budget damage dealer relics in the entire game is the Malefic Talon. Rare relic, crit damage as a primary stat, chance for damage proc with the passive, attack on it as well. It's just so reliable. You can just throw that on Genbo and it'll be really, really good. Obviously, if you have any relics to choose from and you're looking for the best of the best, you could make an argument for Cat's Gaze, honestly, even when comparing it to the mythical relics. But I do think that something like Death Dealer or Stormcaller are probably going to overtake it just in terms of raw damage. Maybe not, depending on the specific composition. Obviously, ignore percent defense, very important. But if you're hitting that through sets and through Helm Smasher, then you may not need it. So Stormcaller might pull ahead. Chances are you're probably not going to be putting your Stormcaller on a Genbo. If you are, I'd love to see your account because it's probably ridiculous. But another really good one to consider if you have it is Gore Crescent. This is obviously more of a PvP or arena relic. More damage, 20% more damage for your next ability after knocking out a champion or a target. So either wave-based content or arena. Gore Crescent also fits really well on Genbo. But again, Cat's Gaze, amazing if you have it. Throw it on your Genbo. You won't regret it. And for a budget option, very, very solid budget option, Malefic Talon. When looking at blessings on your Genbo, you have a few different options you can go with. For a 6-star Awakened Genbo, in all situations, I'm going to recommend going with Crushing Rend. It is an incredible damage boost, having ignore percent enemy defense for every hit on Genbo. This is the best one by far for 6-star Awakening for an epic especially. This is even best for most legendaries and mythicals at 6-star. Other options for Genbo, if you need him to be a aura booster, then Commanding Presence is obviously going to be one of the choices you can go with. Phantom Touch, also a fine option for Genbo if you just want an extra damage proc, or if you're bringing him for something like Fire Knight. And the option that I decided to go with for Arena specifically, and for a lot of content, Genbo does bring 2 buffs on himself, and then you're probably going to be pairing him with somebody that's bringing increased attack, probably increased speed, maybe a couple others. So for any given time that he uses A2, he's probably going to have anywhere from 5 to 10 buffs on himself on most compositions. So that's going to be just a nice flat 5 to 10% damage increase. I find that to be the most valuable. But again, if I had him 6-star Awaken, unquestionably crushing rend. For Masteries on your Genbo, I've decided to go with this setup right here. So for my tier 6 mastery, I'm going with Helm Smasher. I want to make sure I have as much ignore percent enemy defense as possible on my build. I'm optimizing him for the arena, so I'm deciding to go with Shield Breaker, as there's going to be plenty of those in the arena to face. I want him to hit as hard as possible with his A2 the first time that he hits an enemy champ, so Ruthless Ambush really good. I want him to use as many A2s as possible, so Cycle of Violence, he's going to be getting big hits. He's probably going to be getting some skills off cooldown. Methodical, really good. His A1 is a double hitter and hits pretty hard, so that's going to be useful. And then for the arena, I like to go with Improved Parry. Sometimes I'll even come down for Wisdom of Battle if I'm seeing a lot of crowd control out there, and I think he's vulnerable, but since mine is under Stone Skin, I think it won't be that necessary. Bloodthirst and Delayed Death are just there to make him a little bit more tanky and survivable. And then again, I like having as much counterattack potential on him as possible, so I put him in Retribution and Deterrence to try to steal Stone Skin or whatever it might be off the enemy with his counterattacks for that. Other options that you can do to tweak this build a little bit, you can, instead of going with Ruthless Ambush, you can go with Whirlwind of Death, so you can get a little bit faster for every champ that he knocks out. And you can also drop Deterrence and come in and pick up Kill Streak for more damage for everybody he knocks out as well. For the first showcase in today's video, we're going to be going into Doom Tower Hard on the 87th floor and showing what Genbo can do when it comes to wave clear. So the team that we've built around him is Arbiter as a turn meter booster and increased attack champion, Lydia there for relevant damage debuffs, including decreased defense and weaken, and then Mithrala there for Hex. Hex is also great for wave clear when it comes to dealing more damage. And obviously Genbo. So all these 3 champions, free. You can earn them all on every account. And if you're watching this video, hopefully you already have a Genbo on your squad. If you want to make this into a really good Doom Tower wave clearing team, that last slot should be reserved for somebody that has a cooldown reducing ability. So Fady, Yumiko, whoever it is that you guys have, Kaimar, any of them would be great champs to put in that slot. So now let's go right in. Let's take a look at how this team works. Arbiter is going to boost everybody on the team, get that increased attack up. Then Lydia is going to put up decreased defense and weaken. Mithrala is going to put on Hex. And then Genbo is going to buff himself up with that A3, getting his crit up to 100, and then going in with the A2. Boom. Everybody down. I think the biggest hit that I saw there was like 220,000. Excellent wave clear champion. Like, Genbo is not just somebody that shines in arena, but if you need him for Doom Tower, this is on Doom Tower Hard, 87th floor. He's going to be doing great if you need him for this purpose. And here we finally arrived at the arena showcase. So the team that we've built around our Genbo should look familiar from the Doom Tower showcase just now. We have Arbiter, Speed Lead, Increase Attack, and Turn Meter Booster. Lydia there for all the great buffs, and then Sifi there for more buffs and survivability. And she is the fastest champion currently on my account, so Sifi is here as a speed booster. This is a solid go first team, all about going quickly and taking out the enemy team before anything can happen. So if you're trying to get quick ways to just burn right through classic arena, you just want to go through and just quickly use your 10 and not waste any time, this is a team you can use. You can obviously switch out Sifi for any other buffer. Mithrala could also work there if you want. Just making sure it's your fastest composition, making sure that everyone else sets everything up before Genbo goes, and then you're good to go. As you saw there, that was a pretty quick one. We're going to go and pull another one here in just a second. Let's try, a team that has an unkillable champ, Leorius. So let's watch this one go. I'm gonna do this one on manual just in case they have Stone Skin or something like that. I don't see it, so we're just gonna go ahead and let them loose. So Sifi boost first, then Arbiter, then Lydia goes in with the debuffs. Genbo then goes with his A3 and then his A2. Leorius's, if you saw there, unkillable, tried to proc, but he killed him right through it, and the match is over. Now, if you are going to be setting up a full auto Genbo speed-tuned AI setup for Classic Arena where you can just click and watch it go, then one thing I would make sure that I do is set up Genbo's AI so that he always is prioritizing to use his A3 over his A2. There are instances where he will just go straight in with his A2, and that is unfortunate, especially if you have him tuned to need that A3 extra crit in order to have a 100% crit rate. That could cost you matches that you shouldn't be losing. So this is the correct setup for AI for Genbo for like a full auto team. So once again, another Leorius. We're going lion hunting in this video, apparently. Let's watch this one go on full auto. Okay. Go, all set up, and boom. Everybody down. Lydia preventing the revive from the Torment. And pretty much all we have left is a Armand's. And Genbo is able to steal the Stone Skin using his A1. Devastating if that ever happens in one of your matches. That's a great example of why his A1 is so good. Yeah, Stone Skin being what it is, if he happens to go in counterattack due to a debuff being placed on one of your champions, if you haven't built the way I do, or if loses HP, goes in, gets the Stone Skin, that is a quick way to ensure that your opponent starts pulling their hair out, because that can very quickly lose them a match or swing momentum in the match in your favor. And just one final showcase here as we talk through Genbo's viability when it comes to go second teams. Now, obviously, I didn't showcase one in this case. I'm just going pure speed for this one. We want to get through these quickly and then just nuke down the other team and just have it be done with. But I have seen Genbo in some successful go second teams where his A1 actually comes more into play because he ends up stealing, especially when it comes to countering other go second teams. He ends up stealing some Stone Skins, as we just saw earlier, that he's able to do with that A1. So pairing him with somebody like a UDK, a good reviver, a healer, maybe a Harima or somebody like that, also there to keep him alive, he can actually be used as a sneaky good champion on hard-hitting champion on some of those go second teams if you need that for your arena compositions. And there you have it, everybody. Genbo the Dishonored, one of the best epic nukers in the entire game, one of the best epic arena champions in the game. If you have him, build him right, and he will carry you through wave-based content in dungeons or in the arena. If you found today's guide helpful, please let me know down in the comments below if there's any other guides that you'd like to see on the channel. Please consider subscribing for more content in the future. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.